Hi, my name's Jerry. I'm from Wilmington, currently from Wilmington. Yeah, Wilmington, yeah. But I was actually born in Philly, but my parents lived in Camden, then in the Cherry Hill area. So, anyway, since we only have so much time, I can do 50 minutes, and then this is slam, so I'm going to go a little fast if you don't mind. About 26, just had a normal life, 26, wanted to get married and have kids. I met a woman who had two kids, two little kids, and we got married, and I had the kids. 9 years later, she said, and I bought him a house and everything. 9 years later, she said, "You know what, Jerry? You're boring. I want to go back to Vegas, where I grew up." I'm like, how can I compete with Vegas, you know? So, okay, all right, fine. So now I'm in my mid-30s, and I'm going to start looking to have kids. Now, we don't have any internet when I grew up. I mean, 10 years, I used to think, up until 10 years ago, I used to think Google was a Walt Disney character. Google Goofy Fredo. So anyway, so we used to do exchange letters to Philadelphia Magazine. So I started exchange letters with this one woman. For purposes of tonight, I'll just call her Darth. We'll just call her Darth for now. So we started exchanging letters. And she she happened to be Jewish. And I'm Italian.
There's your first mistake.
I'm Italian, I'm Jewish. I'm like, oh man, I don't know. Why am I exchanging letters? She's Jewish. But we exchanged more. And she said her brother, who's actually Jewish, her brother married an Italian girl. And they had a fine relationship. That's okay. So we dated, we started getting heavy. And I wanted a kid, she wanted a kid, and I got a job, a really good job offer in Wilmington. And so I commuted for a year back and forth in Wilmington. It just got too much. And I says, all right, I'm going to buy a townhouse in Wilmington and live there. And we were getting close, and she says, I got a good idea. I said, all right, what is it? She says, why don't I move in with you and see how it goes, and we'll get engaged. She says, try it. You might like it. So that's how we got engaged. You won't see it on the Zales or Hellsworth Diamonds. Try it, you might like it. Really, that's not a good way to start. So she moves in, and we went away for a while. Then she started putting me on a guilt trip. I don't know if that's a Jewish thing or a woman thing, but she'd be like, Jerry. Why can't you be a mensch like Sally's husband, Marvin? Now, I don't know. Mensch I found is a Yiddish word, Jewish Yiddish word. I mean, nice guy. Be a nice guy. If she wants to spend $1,000 on shoes or boots or whatever, and you don't have it, let her do it. Let her do it. But to an Italian, mensch means man with no balls. Really, yeah. And she couldn't cook. There's a stereotype, Jewish women can't cook. I don't know, she could not cook, really. When President Obama came in, they got rid of enhanced interrogation, and I have some friends of mine worked for the government, and when she came out with her brown loose chip beef special, they was like, oh, he says, we got to tell the CIA, we're going to have her, because there's some bad guys we need to get some information from. So she would have been the legal replacement for waterboarding. Yeah. So anyway, she was also bad cook, and she became passive aggressive, and the kid thing went out the window. I don't know what happened. I think she lied to me. She had the dog and the cat, and she did her nails, dog and cat. She was fine. So after a while, I just got, I worked and worked and worked. I supported her, and I just got fed up, and I snorted a lot, and so I snorted. Is that funny? I snored a lot, so I moved. I said, look, I'm going to sleep in the guest room. And I just slept in the guest room, and, we didn't get, we weren't really affectionate. So I slept in the guest room about 5 years. And, yeah. And anyway, one day, I got this really bad ear infection, and I lost balance, and that's why with Wally, I carry Wally around. So I started thinking about my future, and I said, this is crazy. I mean, I'm in the bedroom, I'm not happy, I got sick. I says, I want to move on. I want to move on. I want to be, happy. So we talked about it. She wasn't too happy either, because, we weren't affectionate and all that. And so we decided she was going to live in Delaware a couple years, then move to Florida. And I was going to keep the house. I bought it originally, and I put a lot of money into it. I put today's money, $20,000, in 10 years in mortgages, $200,000. So and I said, you can have everything. You can have everything in a house. 80% of the house, you can have all the pictures. Just leave me the lazy boy and the dinette and some pictures. And we agreed to that. But so then we just started fighting about money. And even though she inherited a lot of money, she fought me tooth and nail about the money, tooth and nail. So finally, I gotta move on. Finally, she moved out, and I moved in. She stripped everything in the whole house. Everything. Lights, ceiling fans, electrical faceplates, you named it. Stripped the whole house. My lazy boy, my dining room set. And she put my ceiling fans on Facebook just to bust my balls. So, right. So, all right, and finally, you gotta hear this last part. So she moved out. She finally moved out. I had to get the judge order to move her out, right? She moved out, and she kept coming to the house and stealing things, hoses and stuff. So I got the cops to stop her. And lastly, I go downstairs. There's some big trash bags of her clothes. And I go through the trash bags, and I rip it open, and I find this 10-inch plastic rubber dildo with batteries and balls. I'm like, what am I going to do with this dildo? I was planning to put it back on Facebook. I didn't. Anyway, I didn't know what to do with my trash company, to put it in recycled or put it in the regular trash. I didn't know what to do with it. Thank you.